PentaHarp is really generating some hype, and people seem very interested, but they also seem cautious and sometimes even skeptical. We need to put some meat on the bones of this concept, and nothing is half as good as Harp Guru for supporting what the pros tell us with clear visual modelling. And I think we can put a lot of speculation to bed and show you what Hohner is telling you. We'll start with a minor pentatonic, which, as advertised, is very easy to play in first position. Not only does it not require any bent notes, but it's also regular all the way up the harp. You can play the same horseshoe shape pattern in each of these octaves until the holes run out at the top. Now that is one of the key selling points of this harp. We all know that it's not only beginners who struggle with the layout of Richter tuning. There's only one unbent note not highlighted here yet, and that is the flat 5, which when included, of course, makes the blues scale. So that means that in first position, the default scale, as Winslow calls it, is the blues scale. If you play all of the unbent notes, you will play the blues scale. Now this is called a PentaHarp though, and I think the reason for that is it's been built to play both minor and major pentatonic scales. If you can't play overblows and you want to play the major pentatonic though, you're going to have to change position. If you've seen my video on relative keys, you'll understand that you can continue with the same horseshoe shaped pattern we have here, the same notes as we play for the minor pentatonic, but in 10th position we're now playing the major pentatonic using the 1 draw as the root. We're playing the same notes but using the E flat as the root, and we end up with the 1, 2, 3, 5 and 6 of the major pentatonic. For those who are confused that 10th position has a root note on the 1 draw here, thinking that that means 3rd position to them, just remember that position numbers are not assigned based on whole location, but on relative pitch. So 1 draw is 3rd position on a Richter harp, only because 1 draw on a C is D, which is 2 additional jumps round the circle of fifths from C as 1st position, so that makes 3rd position. On a pentaharp though, in C, the 1 draw is E flat, which is 9 additional jumps round the circle of fifths from C in 1st position. So 10th position has more to offer though, and I haven't seen this discussed as a virtue of the PentaHarp. Because we only have the flat 2 and the flat 6 on the overblows, your average intermediate has access to Lydian, major, Mixolydian, Dorian, and naturally therefore the minor pentatonic scales, all in the same key from this one position all the way up the harp. It's difficult to access the major scale as well as the 3 blue notes, the flat 3, the flat 5 and the flat 7 at the same time on a Richter harp, so I wouldn't be surprised at all to see this put to great use. As ever, this is a chromatic instrument if you can hit the overblows, so you can also play the natural minor, the Phrygian and the Locrian, but if you can't, then you can just switch back to 1st position, and they are all available with just the draw bends again. So both 1st and 10th position are very flexible with respect to the modes of the major scale. But as you'd expect, positional playing has many more depths to explore than just 1st and 10th position, and you can also find a non-bent root note in 12th position. You can see the green root note is still unbent here. Keep following it now into 11th position, 7th, and also 2nd position, which can all be explored in great detail along with all the other positions with bent root notes using Harp Guru. Along with the scale opportunities, another feature of the PentaHarp which is notable for its simplicity over Richter is the splits and the double stops. The octave splits all require the same 2-hole tongue block. It doesn't matter which note you're playing, either blow or draw, splits will always be the same size, and double stops will always have the same neighbour. And you can see that in 1st position anyway, we've got some really nice double stops available. The flat 3 and flat 5 and the flat 5 and flat 7 are both classics, but notice too that this is a different world of double stops. We can't resolve our flat 5 flat 7 double stop to the 5 flat 7 like we've heard in Richter in 2nd position for as long as harmonica and the blues have been together, so we've lost something there. We're also going to notice that our chording options are different from what we're used to in Richter and its derivatives. The major and minor triads are just not playable in 1st position, though the minor triad is in 10th, and of course it's also repeated all the way up the harp, which is nice, and not the case in Richter. but we can't play a shuffle here, or at least not as we're used to, because the blow chord, one position down from 10th position, doesn't even have a root note in it. It is a suspended 4 chord in first position, which is fine, but not what we're used to in a shuffle, and the key change from E flat to C is not something we're used to in a shuffle either. Now that's not to say we can't create something new with this, but that's what you will be doing, and you'll be out of your comfort zone. So while there are compromises which Hohner naturally haven't highlighted themselves, there are real benefits and novel possibilities with PentaHarp as well. We've covered the main selling points that Hohner had in mind when making this harp, and it looks like there's actually a lot more there too, which possibly Hohner themselves aren't even aware of yet. And if you want to be the one to make those new discoveries, then you'll be able to do it a lot faster and with more confidence with Harp Guru. Harp Guru is available right now on both Android and iOS, and you can find all the help you need to get the most out of it here on YouTube, as well as more videos like this which work to demystify all of your harmonicas, whether you have the app or not. So come and check us out and have a great day!